Hello everyone, I am Preeti and welcome back to our channel. So after uploading almost 10 videos on the channel, this is the first time I'm coming in front of the camera. So first of all, I would like to thank each one of you for watching and liking our videos and subscribing to our channel. So we have almost come to the end of our Japan travel series. Japan, as you would have seen in all the other videos, is such an amazingly incredible country, and I am sure you are going to love it too when you travel to Japan. So in today's video, I'll be telling you 25 tips that will help you plan your travel. So let's get started. The very first tip is about transportation. The easiest and the most convenient mode of transportation is trains. Transportation in Japan is an experience in itself. It has one of the most efficient public transport network, and trains are cheapest and most easily accessible. However, in the beginning, the dense network may seem to be little overwhelming and confusing, but with a little research, you will just be fine. So to tell you in short, there are various types of trains operated by different operators and named as different lines. For example, Japan Railways or JR is one of the main operators running throughout Japan. As for the types of trains, you have got the local metros, subways, monorails, Shinkansen or the bullet train. And when you are traveling to your destination, you may have to change 2 or 3 trains, but don't worry about it. All these different operators and lines have a great connectivity, so you should not have a problem. And one more most important thing is all the trains in Japan run absolutely on time, even without a delay of 1 minute. So if you are following any schedule, make sure you're there on time. Second tip is going to be very helpful. Always wear a good pair of shoes. You will be walking a lot. As you will be traveling by trains, you will be walking to get to your destinations from the station. You will also be walking while exploring the temples, shrines, gardens, mountains and shopping streets. So on one of my day trips to Kyoto, I walked almost more than 18 kilometers in a day. But don't be scared by this, because you will absolutely not get bored or even feel tired, because you will just be so amazed to see things around you. So if you want to make this one of your best experiences in Japan, make sure you wear a good pair of shoes. The third tip is going to make your travel experience hassle-free. Get yourself a Suica Card. These are prepaid cards which you can use for payments in many places like convenience stores, vending machines, etc. But most importantly, you can use it for your train travels. If you have these cards, you don't need to worry about getting train tickets and calculating the cost. You just need to tap in the card when you enter the gate and tap out when you exit. The fare is automatically calculated and deducted from the card. Purchasing the card is also very simple. You can buy it from any ticket vending machine at stations. It comes with a deposit of just 500 yen, a part of which you can get back if you return at the end of your trip. Yes, taxis are very expensive, so just keep it as your last resort or just in case of emergencies, as they run 24/7. Anyway, if you are using trains efficiently, you will not even think about taxis. I never used taxi even once during the entire duration of my stay. This next tip is going to be very helpful. If you are going to hop between many cities, make sure to get yourself a JR or Japan Railway Pass. JR Pass is one of the best things that Japan has to offer for its tourists. Who doesn't want to save a chunk of money on their trips? So if you are planning to travel to many cities on your trip to Japan, I absolutely recommend you to buy the Japan Railway or the JR Pass. This will not only give you unlimited access to all the JR local metros, but most importantly, it will even give you unlimited access to the Shinkansen or the bullet trains. And if you're using bullet trains to travel to different cities, it will save you a lot of your travel time, because you will be able to cover longer distances in a very short span of time. But the only thing is, this pass does not cover the fastest bullet train, that is Nozomi, but it covers the second fastest train called Hikari. But there is not much speed difference in both the trains, so you will just be fine. And I also recommend you to buy the JR pass in your own country, because if you buy it in Japan, it might be a little expensive. So you can just buy it in your own country, and once you land in Japan, you can just activate it at the airport or in any other main JR station. But again, you have to plan your trip very properly, because you have to activate this pass on the right time. For example, if you land in Tokyo and if you activate the pass on the very first day, and the next 2 days if you're just going to be in Tokyo, then the 2 days of the pass will be wasted, because you will not be using the JR pass much to go around Tokyo. So make sure you plan the trip very properly and activate the pass at the right time.
Other than JR Pass, you have many other day passes like Metro Day Pass, Subway Pass, Bus Pass or Kansai Area Pass, with which you can take unlimited trains for 24 hours, and they come for a very cheap price. These are few of the passes that I used on my trip. This next tip helped me a lot during my trip. Yes, Google Maps are very much reliable in Japan. I was only dependent on Google Maps for my entire trip, be it for directions or even train schedules. It gives you perfect schedule for the trains, timings, platform numbers and even the change of trains. Since you will be using trains on your trip, you must know few of the train etiquettes. You should not eat in the trains and not talk on phone. This is to avoid causing any trouble to the fellow passengers. The next tip is for your luggage. Don't worry about your luggage. All the main stations have this amazing facility called coin lockers where you can store your luggage. The lockers come in various sizes, so when you reach a place, there is no need to go and check into your hotels. You can just store your luggage in the lockers and start your sightseeing. You just put the coins and a pin ticket will be generated for you. Also, it's not at all expensive. The next tip is the train stations are the most convenient places. Yes, train stations are so amazingly planned and constructed that you can almost find everything at the major stations, be it shops, restaurants, tourist offices, you name it and you will find it. I was so amazed how everything in the cities is connected to the stations, either underground or through bridges, so you can just plan your entire day keeping the main station as a starting point and you will not go wrong at all. The metros stop running between 11:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. and start as early as 5 a.m. So plan your day accordingly. This next tip is very important. Japan is completely a cash-driven society, so always keep your cash ready. In many places, they will not accept your cards, so it is best to convert or withdraw your cash right at the airport. One of the best way is to just walk into 7-Eleven convenience store and use your international card to withdraw money.
So using the 7-Eleven ATM is absolutely hassle-free, and they also have a very good exchange rate. It's like any other ATM, you just swipe your card and withdraw cash, and most importantly, you will find 7-Eleven at every other corner in the cities.
The next tip is make sure to get your tourist SIM cards or portable Wi-Fi devices right at the airport, because getting SIM cards in Japan is very difficult.
So you can buy your tourist SIM cards or the portable devices right at the airport, or you may book it online and just pick them up at the counters in the airport. Buying SIM cards in Japan may be a little costly, but it's going to be a great investment, because the moment you land in Japan, you will be using internet, say for your translation tools and apps, or even for the maps.
This next tip is a very cool tip. Carry your passport at all times. You can do tax-free shopping by presenting your tourist visa. Yes, if you are on a tourist visa, you can do tax-free shopping not just in duty-free shops but in any malls and branded stores. Isn't it cool? Next tip is about the convenience stores, which is going to be your savior at all times. As they are rightly called kombini or the convenience stores, these are going to be your go-to stores for all your needs. They literally have everything from food to ATMs, you just name it. The main chains include 7-Eleven, Family Mart and Lawson, and you will find it just at every corner in the city.
So these convenience stores are going to be very helpful if you are on a budget trip, because you can actually buy all your meals at the convenience stores. They are not just cheap, but you have a wide variety to choose from. Right from your sushis to fried chicken to salads, fruits, drinks, you can actually buy everything at these stores.
Japan is clean, so make sure you don't litter around. Yes, every corner, every street is squeaky clean. But contrary to this, you will find very less trash cans, so always carry a trash bag with you, and wherever you find trash cans, you will find at least 3 to 4 of them in a row, so make sure you divide your trash as per cans and dispose. Next few tips are going to be about Japanese society. Japanese people are very kind, respectful and polite, so be polite to them.
You will experience this the moment you land in Japan, because all the flight attendants, the airport staff will bow in respect whenever you pass by them. You will just be so amazed to see how kind and polite they are. If you ask for some help or even ask for directions, they will go that extra mile to help you or even walk you to your destination. If you read a little about Japanese etiquettes, which I highly recommend you to do before you travel to Japan, you will understand how important is giving respect to other people. So to do the least, you can just put up a smile, speak softly and politely, and do not behave rude in public.
In Japan, everyone follows rules, so make sure you follow them too. Be it the traffic signals, standing in queues, prohibition to sit, eat, drink or smoke at given places, make sure you follow them to avoid getting offensive looks. The next tip is, do not give tips in the restaurant. They just don't understand the concept of tipping. If you give tips, the staff will chase you to return the money thinking you forgot to take it. Next tip is, eating while walking is prohibited in Japan.
Yes, you will hardly see anybody eating on the street while they are walking. Instead, you can just sit at the convenience store and eat, because most of the convenience stores have sitting facilities, and if not, you can just stand outside the store and take your bite. I'm really not sure as to why this is not allowed, but maybe because Japanese people always walk very fast and they don't want to cause trouble to the other pedestrians. Maybe that's why.
Next, language is no more a barrier. You will find boards and signs in English in all major cities. You can also use translation tools and apps.
Yes, it is absolutely possible to manage your travel to Japan without being able to speak or read the language, because most of the boards are there in English as well, and many trains have announcements made in English, and obviously you have so many translation tools and apps which you can use easily. And also, Japanese people do understand basic English. It's just that they are a little shy to speak. But regardless of all this, if you even try to learn few Japanese words, it will be of a great help, because while speaking to the locals, even if you use one Japanese word, they will be so amazed and surprised, and they will absolutely be happy to help you and connect with you instantly.
Japan is absolutely safe to travel, so just don't worry about it.
Yes, Japan is one of the safest countries in the world to travel, because people take that extra effort to avoid conflicts and upset others. It is one of those places where you can leave your laptop or your phone on the table while you're going to the washroom.
You are definitely gonna thank me for this tip. Yes, carry a good camera with you. Every place, every street and every corner in Japan is so fascinating and amazing that you would want to capture all of it in your camera. So make sure you carry a good camera, or at least have a phone with a good camera. Next tip is the answer to the most frequently asked question. Yes, Japan may seem expensive, but if planned smartly, your trip can be very much affordable.
People think Japan is very expensive, and so they avoid planning a trip to Japan. But that's not true at all. You just need a good research and a little better planning. With that, you will be able to find cheaper alternatives for almost everything, right from your transportation, food and accommodation. And I'm sure with these tips, you will definitely be able to plan an affordable trip. Yes, and my last tip is don't think too much and definitely plan your next trip to Japan. Okay, so these were the 25 tips, and I'm sure these tips are really going to help you when you plan your trip to Japan. So, as I told you in the beginning of the video, just 1 or 2 more videos and we will be done with our Japan travel series. But stay tuned to our channel because next we are coming up with Philippines. So, the Philippine Tourism Board itself describes the country as it's more fun in the Philippines, which is so very true. It's not just incredibly beautiful with its stunning beaches and beautiful islands, but it is so much more fun in here. You will watch it. Until then, like, share and subscribe to our channel.